It's Hip Hop Nation, the sound of the culture. Your boy Torae is here. Our tagline is the sound of the culture, but sometimes you need to really, really tap in to understand why the culture sounds the way it sounds, the way it moves, the way it moves. Who are the people behind the scenes moving and making the needle go where it needs to go and turning these records up and turning these artists up and getting songs in the right hands? And I say all that to say my guest today, you may have seen him. He's been definitely making a lot of rounds via social media with his incredible podcast, The God Show. And he has a very opinionated way of looking at things. And sometimes people like that are polarizing. So you may say to yourself, well, what does this guy have the authority to say what he says and feel how he feels? We're going to find out today because Ray Daniels is in the building. What's up, King?
My brother, thanks for having me. By the way, Torae is the God Show's alumni. So
yeah.
The show. Let's go. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for being on my show, and thank you for allowing me to do your show.
I appreciate you.
Ray, first of all, New York City back in the town. Just talk to me about how you've been moving around and what you've been having going on while you out here.
Just been, like a lot of the times, man, in this world, we do our work and we like to see the rewards. I'm opposite. I just like to work. Mm-hmm. And then, you put in so much work that sometimes you need a break in scenery, a break in the environment. So I just was talking to my team. Shout out to Chastity, Rick, the content crew. They call themselves the content crew, but I want to call them the content boys. Shout out to them and all that stuff. Shout out to them. But I was like, man, we should just go to New York. Right. And I'm being honest with you. I was like, let's go shoot episodes of The God Show. That was really the plan. But we haven't even been able to have a chance to do that because we've been doing so many interviews with me. So It just kind of turned into a promo run.
It's crazy.
Like, damn, I didn't even know if I knew it was this, it would have probably been different. I bought my kids and everything.
You ain't know you was hot, Ray? You ain't know you was hot out here?
You know what it is? I'm a manager by trade. So the first rule of a manager is to manage your expectations. Mm-hmm. So I have to manage mine also. So I can't just walk in thinking, hey,
everybody knows, right?
Somebody say, we don't give up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just happy to be here. Oh, y'all care too? Okay, dope. So it's been amazing, man. Like, New York is a place where what's sleep?
Right.
What is that?
What is that? It doesn't exist here.
Like literally, what is sleep?
You gotta make it happen.
You gotta make it happen here. So it's been a lot of that, man. This is my last thing for the week, and I'm with my bro, so I'm excited, man.
No doubt. I'm excited to have this conversation. I really want to give the people an opportunity to learn today. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most important things I think that we could do is to continue to pay it forward. And you know me, I'm a contributor of the culture in numerous ways. And one of the ways that I feel most fulfilled and satisfied is when I get a chance to hear from somebody like, yo, I heard that interview with such and such, and when they said this and this and that, I applied it to my life. So you were definitely here to give up some of the game today, Ray. A manager by trade, how does one even get into that space? How did Ray Daniels get into the management space, and who do you manage?
Well, the management space I got into 20 years ago, somebody asked me to help them with something. They said that, shout out to George. I'll never say his name, but shout out to George. He asked me to help him with something. And he was like, since we've been in, and we went to school together, by this time we were about 21, 22. And he was like, yo, bro, since we've been kids, every time you talk, people listen. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you should talk about what I'm doing. And if you talk about what I'm doing, maybe we can make some money together. And I was like, at that time, I was just trying to really figure out what to do in my life. So I was like, maybe this is what God want me to try. So I committed to it blindly, thinking it's going to happen tomorrow. You know how this is.
Right.
Tomorrow.
So many tomorrows ago.
And then 3 years later, you're like, I finally got my check. You know what I mean? So, yeah, somebody asked me to help them, and I did it. And, I managed Torae Thomas, who was the songwriter of the year at the Grammys this year.
Grammy Award winning.
I know Torae voted for him, so I don't even have to ask. I already know I got to vote for my bro right here.
Listen, man. You know why? And I'm not at liberty to discuss who I vote for, but I vote with my fandom. I vote with my fandom. I don't vote with my Rolodex. Yeah. I don't vote with my contact list. I vote as a fan of the music, because that's what keeps the music where it needs to go. That's what keeps it pure. The shit I listen to, the people that make me go and check credit. Yo, who did that?
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I used to read liner notes when there was physical product.
I wish that they still had it.
I like that it's in a digital space, but I wish that
just like it's just general, who mixed who this, like who's the A&R, who's the executive producer, like I want to know that.
I always wanted to know that, because that's what helped me build my relationships, because I walked in the room and I knew who everybody was, even the guy that's behind the scenes.
And that's what made them respect you.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, oh, this kid really wants it.
He really wants it.
He's not trying to come into the NBA just to get a check. He knows the history, the players, the teams, the personnel, and that's who I am. So, but Torae, I got a couple of people. I got this kid, Digital Nas, who has He produced the Carnival record for Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. So I had the #1 with that. But you know, honestly, bro, like I'm just here for the. I'm in a pivot state of my career. Okay. Right. For a lot of reasons, not really selfish reasons. It's just like you just said, we're behind the scenes. Our job is to stay behind the scenes and stay quiet. But I'm watching our culture get lost because the only voice they're hearing are not the voices of reason. Right? Back in the day when you can hear you knew that Rakim had some OGs around him. You knew Biggie had some OGs around him. Now the OGs don't have no respect if they don't have no money. So I was like, I got to get from behind the camera and really like show these kids that there's an option to be me. Right, and in return, the culture has really like responded in a way that makes me like, damn, I wish I did this shit 10 years ago.
Yeah, It's important to have a sounding board out there, and even if you don't agree with every single thing, it's always good to have various opinions because then from there you can take all of the information and formulate your own thoughts and your own reality. We're gonna get into some music because, like Ray said, he managed this Grammy Award-winning Songwriter of the Year and all of that. So I want to do this. Can we do this All My Life joint? Can we get into that?
Oh, I be forgetting records I have out. Yeah.
This is the Ray Daniels
I gotta
show.
Get the plaque for that one.
All your records. We playing them all.
I swear I forgot. I'm not even being funny.
You want to wake up with the tour guide. It's Hip Hop Nation, the sound of the culture. Your tour guide is here. My guest today is Ray Daniels, manager extraordinaire, podcast host extraordinaire too. Ray, when you see the success of the God Show, how does it make you feel? Like you said in the last break, for somebody who's been behind the scenes for so long, to be in front of the camera and to have people reacting so much to the things that you say and the knowledge that you put out there.
It's rewarding. It's a lot of people wake up every day and feel like they have something to offer to the world. Everybody's like, I just had a chance. So me offering the world something and seeing the response has been incredible because all I wanted to do was have a voice. Like I just felt like the future's community, the future's curation. Curators are run the world, right? Like if a curator picks you, then the world picks you. So I just was like, I don't want to be the guy that needs a curator. I want to be my own. Right. And I just didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know how they would respond to it. You've been in the business years. You know how they look at people that start giving away the secrets and talking that.
Right.
But I've always had a skill level where I can talk at a high level in the 5th grade way that they can understand it. Right. Like I can make things digestible that most people complicate. I can simplify it. So for me, it works. Yeah. It's like Torae. Like when you rap, you like what you saying.
Right.
That's why you did it. But when people like it, it's like, oh, yeah, okay,
yeah, it's a different type of feeling.
Yeah. So it's that. So it's like I just finished doing Joe Budden's show, and literally he was like, man, one of my favorite podcasts. He literally called me the Joe Budden of the South. He was like, bro, like you that dude to me, and I'm like, nigga, you are the #1 podcast in the world, and you're telling me that. So it's like those are the things that keep you motivated and keep you excited to stay in this shit because it gets tiring. No doubt. You know this. Like that's why me. By the way, if you seeing this, we only got shades on because we're tired. We don't want to shades on
because I knew Ray was gonna have. I knew he was gonna have his wisdoms on, looking cool. I didn't want to not be cool today. That's why,
my brother.
So as I've been seeing you move around in physical as well as in the digital space, obviously that comes with the opportunity for people to have an opinion on you. How have you been able to deal with that? Because
have an opinion on me?
When people have an opinion on you, a public opinion where they can comment and say a bunch of shit and tear you down or lift you up.
Oh no, that I swear to God, it has no effect on me.
I know, and I needed the people to hear
and
that.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because if the minute that you contribute something to the world, I don't care if it's a meal, I don't care if you have a recipe, you have raps, you have, fashion, whatever it is, the minute you put it out there, you're leaving yourself open to be judged.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to allow yourself to be judged, then that means you can't, if the applause is going to make you, then the booze is going to break you.
Yeah.
And I just was like, you know what? Do the work. Don't even look. Most of the time, I don't even have time to read it. But, I will tell you when I do read things that bother me, I go look at a page. And then I realize why my presence bothers this person. My presence bothers you because you want to be somebody in the world and you ain't figured it out yet. So here I am popping on your feed and you're like, who the f is this thing? And it's like you feel that way because I'm doing what you really want to do. So but let me tell you something. If you do hate, then you are giving the world permission to hate on you. It's you put hateful energy out, you get hateful energy back. So even when people, I don't even worry about that. It's like I only absorb the things that I think make me better. Now, if they criticize me, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody says, why you listen to this guy? I'm like, well, before you commented that, did you not go look at my page?
Right.
Like if you look at my page, you can see who I am.
Yeah.
I got it set up like that. The three things pinned at the top is us winning the Grammy, me on the cover of XXL, and me at my house with like 90 plaques. Like, it's like, so, but the fact that you didn't take that 30 seconds to go see that extra. And I always say, the only difference between extraordinary and ordinary is extra. So if you're not going to give that little bit of extra, then you ain't going to be extraordinary anyway. So why do I care what you got to say?
Facts. Ray Daniels is here. I told you he was going to give up the game, Hip Hop Nation. He got so many artists out there, so many records that he's been a part of. I don't want you to forget nothing, Ray. So let's just go through. Give me something out the Ray Daniels catalog. One of the millions of plaques. Let's play something on Hip Hop Nation.
Let's go Lotto, Big Energy.
Big Energy on the Big Morning Show. It's your tour guide. Ray Daniels is here. Your tour guide is here. It's Hip Hop Nation. You are on the wake up. So, Ray, now that you have this public-facing persona, does that make it difficult for you behind the scenes? Does that make it difficult for you in the buildings? Does that make it difficult for you in the studio?
Well, no. It actually hasn't. It's actually made life better. The only thing that made it difficult is so many of my peers want to call me to talk about what's on the podcast. Like I'm not in the music business. Dealing with shit every day.
I'm doing shit. Like, we got songs to make.
Yeah, like I'm really, I'm really in the music business, right? But like, yo, Ray, when you said such, I'm like, oh, that's what you called me for, man. Hit me after 9 p.m., bro. Like I'm working right now. So a lot of that is just, that's probably the main thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to be bothered by it. I think it was my birthday last year that I was like, embrace it. I hated it. I hated when I went around my peers and they want to talk about the show. Because I'm like, why are you talking about the show? I do this.
Right.
I do this, right? I'm running head of music for Jordan Peele. I'm at Rock Nation. I got so many things that I'm doing, and you want to talk to me about a pod, but then it was almost like I was angry at it. I was angry that it was getting the attention it was because it wasn't for them. It was for the other people. We still do our thing. And then I went to Paris for my birthday, and I was hanging out with L.A. Reid. And, we was backstage after the show, and all he wanted to do was laugh and talk shit with me. Like, man, you said this on your show? And I was like, and that's my idol. And I was like, man, if L.A. can embrace it and that's all he want to talk about, man, who cares what these other dudes want? Yeah. Like, I care about what he thought more than anything because he is the picker of pickers.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's an exec, whether it's an artist. So he has made and bet on more stars than anyone I've ever met in my life. And he's telling me I'm a star at that.
He's a real music man.
So I'm like, I'm going to embrace it now. And after that, it was like, for some reason, all the doors open. It's like, I'm a media guy now. Now every door open to me. And it's like, damn, like, maybe God would just, it was like, sometimes God just waiting for you to walk through the door.
Yeah. It's right.
Show me you got faith that you're going to walk through the door rather than sitting there saying, who going to bring me? Nah, I ain't going to come get you. You go get it, and then if you open that door, it's there for you. So, man, this has been like an incredible journey of growth, of being a better man, a better everything that I am to the people in my life by just paying attention to the signs with the doors just open. Like I said, I came here to do the God Show, and we only got to shoot 3 episodes, and I probably did like 30 interviews since we've been there. Other has been people talking to me.
To you.
So for me, it's like, but what if I didn't come? Like, what if I didn't come? What if I was like, nah, let's just go to let's figure out what somebody want me to come. Nah, you gotta sometimes show God you got faith in Him to open doors after you walk through the doors you have to walk through first. You do your part, He'll take the rest of the steps.
Absolutely.
So it's been a great journey, bro. I'm excited about it because I don't know what the future looks like, but I do know that every time that I do what I'm supposed to do, something that I didn't think was gonna happen happens.
Yeah, you definitely making it happen. It's Hip Hop Nation. Ray Daniels is here. Your tour guide is here. Back into that Ray catalog. We going Doja Cat this time, man. We going with Doja. You on the wake up. The biggest hits out there. The newest vibes happen with your tour guide. Getting to it on the wake up. It's Hip Hop Nation. Torae is here. Ray Daniels is here. I hope you've been enjoying this conversation thus far, and I hope that it's inspired you. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that me as a songwriter, me as a recording artist, although I didn't know it, my mission was to inspire people, right? Early on, I wanted to rap. I wanted to be the nicest. I wanted my peers, the people that I thought was nice. And then I realized that I just want to inspire the next generation. I want to inspire people. When I do my show and I select my guests, everybody don't walk through this door. You know what I'm saying? And I say that humbly. The people that I choose to converse with are people that I know are going to push things forward. And I hope that that's what the people have been getting from the conversation today. So speaking of pushing things forward, I mean, an incredible history and presence in the music space, an incredible presence in the media, in the podcast space, and now we in the literary space. So let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, so I wrote a book. I'm in the process. I got a couple of publishers coming at me.
Stunt.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, cause I don't have a release date. Like, I'm like, it's working, but I wrote a book that I think is going to change the music business forever.
Okay.
It's called The Artist Agreements. That's the working title now, and I put it like this: everybody who I've let preview it has said it changed their life.
Wow.
And it's more about life than it is music, but I made it about music because music is life.
That's facts.
And you know, my writer, the person that I wrote it with, the author, she's written, shout out to Alina Balkman, she's written 70, 80 books that's been published everywhere around the world. And she was like, Ray, this is the first book I've ever been a part of that changed my life. Because of my approach. Like, I try to come down. Like, I don't talk to the highest level. I talk to the kid in us. I talk to the dreamer in us. I talk to the person in us that's looking for the purpose. That's like, man, I know I got something. If somebody could just see me, and I'm showing you how to see yourself and how to make the people see what you want them to see and control the narrative all the way. And I'm in a huge social experiment right now with what I'm doing. Y'all gotta understand, this is unheard of. Yeah. You know this, Torae. Yeah. I'm a manager who's always been a manager, who's been behind the scenes, and I said, put a camera on me, and all of a sudden I have interest in me from people everywhere that's like, you help me change. That's not what we do. This is retirement behavior. This is the game is done. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to talk about it. I'm Draymond Green of music business. I'm leaving the court. Right. And as soon as I get off the court, I'm getting right back to a mic saying, oh yeah, by the way, let me talk about the game I just played. So I feel like I'm not leading the charge in new media, but I'm a force in new media who's learning it. And I'm being honest with you. Anybody listening, you need to figure it out quick, because if you don't have a community of people, mind you, everybody listening to this, if you have social media, you have a community. Facts. If you have Instagram, you have a community. Yeah, and the community is the people that follow you. Now you can take the time to say, look how cute I look. Now that's cool, unless you're selling the cuteness. Unless you're saying, look how cute I look, pants provided by this, shirt provided by that, and now that's how you're making your money. But if you're just saying, look how cute I am for no reason, you don't understand the concept of what the future is going to be. You have to be, it's curation, it's all these things. It's like how many people are like, Trump, we can't stand Trump, but somebody's voting for him, right? Yeah. Because there's a community of people that he built that think like him. That's a fact. And that might bother you, but then who thinks like you? Yeah, go galvanize your audience. Boom. And now you can't be mad at him, you could do it yourself. Right. But we so busy being mad and being angry, but you know what we doing? We standing still. Stop standing. Like, I don't be mad. Some days I'm mad. Some days I'm pissed. You know, some days we all pissed. But one thing I don't stop doing is I don't stop moving. Keep moving. I don't stop going forward. I don't care what's happening around me. I'm going to go forward.
I want to ask you before we get up out of here, and thank you for that, because that was definitely another gem. The duality of being in multiple spaces. For the longest time, it was frowned upon for artists to do anything outside of their art, right? Their artistry. Even when I got this show, which I was just talking to, behind the scenes, I've had this show for 11 years. 11 years ago, I was a touring artist putting out music regularly. That's the way I kept my lights on. And like you said, this was like retire. I was like, if I do radio, this is something I'm thinking I maybe want to do down the line. But I started to do it simultaneously. And now you look in the media space and you see, like you said, Draymond is a guy who can have a podcast and still be an NBA champion. And you can have this one acting on this show and hosting this show and still doing. Let's talk about the evolution of the artists and how they've been able to be multifaceted and how all of us in the business have been able to kind of have this duality in the space.
Well, it's not the evolution of the artist. It's the evolution of the world, right? So I'm going to take you back. Remember, think a few years back when Chris Brown was in a relationship with Karrueche, right? Chris Brown was pushing Sevyn Streeter. Shout out to Sevyn Streeter, one of the most talented, amazing artists in the world.
Incredible.
Chris is pushing Sevyn. Sevyn, she's so dope. She's this, she's all these things. Yet Karrueche was more popular. Why? And he didn't push her at all. All he did was hold her hand and walk. She never talked, but he was pushing her because the people pick who they want. See, now when we used to look at Michael Jordan, all we saw was Michael Jordan, his jersey, and his sneakers, right? Now, look at LeBron. We see LeBron. We see his wife. His wife has a podcast now. There's interest in the human now. See, music used to be about interest in the person. Music was about interest in the music. Now the world is interested in a person. Now it's not just about what you rapped about. It's what you rapped about and why that made sense. It's like when you hear Jay-Z's 444 album, you listening to it and he's talking about, I almost lost the greatest girl, I almost was Eric Benet, don't be Eric Benet. Like, we know who he's talking about. Why do we know that? Because his wife a year ago dropped the Lemonade album talking about the shit he did to her. And that's why it works. We're buying into the story. And if you think that your job is just to push music, you don't understand what the future looks like. It is the story. It is not just Torae. It's where you get that chain from. It's who's your family. It's like, how you doing? Like, how your kids do all these things that don't matter. But these things are now brands now. We got an NBA player in the league with his son.
Crazy.
And his son is selling more jerseys than everybody else right now. Bronny is the #1 rookie in the class selling jerseys. He's the number 55 pick. Why? Because we interested in the James family. It's the James family. You a part of that, so we interested. So how do you make people interested in you? Show them everything you, rather than showing them what you do. Because that's the trick. This is what I do. Nah, show them you. Let me see your heart. Let me see you as a person. And I'm leading that with being a manager. You ain't seen me, Torae, the minute that you look on Instagram and you see me like, yo, fuck, and I'm rapping you like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm being a manager, Torae. I'm being a person that everybody meets. Is just now there's interest in who is the manager, who is the artist, who is the manager's wife, who is the kids, how do they get there? We have access to so many things that you have to start curating what you want people to give access to, that you could vertically integrate into your brand, that you could sell and become your own business.
Come on, man. And buy the book when it dropped, too. You think it's a game up here, Hip Hop Nation? Ray Daniels is here. Make sure you check out The God Show. Make sure you support everything that Ray got going on. We're going to close out with something else that he's behind the scenes on. You know how we do, man. You want to wake up with your tour guy, Ray Daniels, Hip Hop Nation, the sound of the culture.